If I could have your attention here in the Kansas Speedway Media Center, we will go ahead and start with today's Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series media availabilities. And we're going to begin with Daniel Suarez, driver of the number 19 Stanley Ace Children's Miracle Network Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. And here's a real cool nugget for you. If Danny wins this weekend here at Kansas Speedway, Stanley Black & Decker will donate $1 million to the CMN hospitals through the Ace Hardware Foundation. Pretty cool program that's going on there, Danny. No pressure on you to win, but I know you went through University of Kansas Hospital yesterday, visited with some kids. What was that experience like for you?
You know, for me, it's very special to be a small part of projects like this. Very happy to have Stanley Black & Decker part of our team doing these kind of things. Yesterday, like you mentioned, I had the opportunity to spend half a day in the hospital with some of the kids that went through that process already, and some of the kids that are in the middle of the process. Actually, four kids that they went through all this already. They're going to be here with us tomorrow. Drivers meeting, driver interest in the race. They are super excited. Couple of them that didn't know a lot about NASCAR, now they are super race fans. So super excited to be a small part of this. Obviously, the rest of the kids that are in the hospital, they won't be able to be here, but they told me they were going to be watching on TV. I was able to bring them a little gift, a couple hats and stuff from Stanley Black & Decker. And it's very cool for me to interact with kids like this. It's something very cool because they will become fans, race fans forever, and that's something very special for me. So super excited about this weekend. It's a lot in the line. Actually, yesterday, doesn't matter what happened in the race, but yesterday Stanley Black & Decker donated already $100,000 to the hospital. So it's a big deal this weekend for myself, for Stanley Black & Decker, and for the hospital, and hopefully we can have a little bit of luck and make this dream happen for a lot of kids.
Okay, if we have questions for Daniel, we'll get a wireless mic to you. We'll start here with Maggie, go to Todd, and then to Randy.
Maggie McKenzie, NASCAR.com. Daniel, what's been the most important lesson you've learned thus far in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series?
Good question. Maybe the most important lesson is that you need to stay in the top of the game. It's so difficult to stay in the top of the game the entire race. The race is obviously longer and there's more stuff going on. I've been in the situation already a few times where in the beginning of the race we are pretty bad, and then we work, and then by the end of the race we got either a top 10 or very close to a top 10. And that's a good example of staying in the top of the game with your team. I feel like I still a long ways to go in my learning career. My team obviously has a lot of experience, but Scott is still learning a few things as well. And I feel like we're moving in the right direction. We just have to keep working to try to find more speed, and we know what our weak points are right now, and hopefully we can work hard on those and to get better at it.
Go next to Todd.
Hey, Daniel, I was just curious, how much pressure do you feel stepping in for Carl Edwards, and do you feel any more coming to Kansas Speedway, which was his home track and had been such an important track for him through the years?
No, I mean, for me, I've been racing with pressure my entire life, so this is just, one more. It's nothing difficult. I mean, Carl, he did an amazing job. He's a great driver. He won a lot of races. And a very successful driver, but right now a lot of things have changed for this year. We still have obviously a lot of that team, but not everything is the same. So we're working hard to try to put everything I need working for myself and trying to find speed. And I know that we're going to get there. It's just a process. I really feel like we were on this process a couple of years ago in the Xfinity Series, and it takes time and it takes patience. So we have to be smart and trying to make this process as fast as possible.
Go next to Randy.
Yeah, two questions. One, have you ever raced for $1 million before?
No.
What's that feel like?
It feels very good. You know, it's everything about these kids. It's a really big deal for them. We are very fortunate, all of us, to be here and to be able to do not think about those things. But when you get the opportunity to spend some time with them, you understand how fortunate we are and how important it is for us to give a little bit back. So, like I say, super proud to be part of Stanley Black & Decker team, and I'm super proud to be a small part of this project that it can make this dream possible for a lot of kids on this at this hospital.
And second thing, kind of to follow Todd's, do people kind of come up to your car expecting to see Carl? I mean, is there some mistaken identity sometimes? People still thinking he's in the 19?
Well, it hasn't happened to me. I guess it was a pretty big deal when he stepped out. So a lot of people knows that he's not racing anymore. So I haven't had that situation. I'm still talking to Carl, actually. Not super often, not every day, but very often. He still helps me sometimes in a while. So answer the question, no.
Go to Summer, then back to Todd.
Summer Bedgood, kickinthetires.net. When you come to a track for the first time in the Cup Series, how helpful is it to already have experience under your belt at that track in the Xfinity Series or another series?
It is helpful, but I have learned in the past that looking to my notes from the Xfinity stuff doesn't really work for Cup. So what I've been trying to do is trying to work in the notes from my teammates, because pretty much all the information I have is from a different race car, different power, different aero, different downforce, different everything. So it kind of is not a reference anymore. And the information they have is already way closer. So you know, I have learned that so far on this year, and actually right now I don't even look to my notes from Xfinity stuff, but it definitely helps. Definitely helps to have some races here in the Xfinity stuff, and actually in the trucks, I think, once as well. And at least it's a good, you know, knowledge about the racetrack, not about the car, but about the racetrack.
Daniel, I mean, obviously you got Carl's ride, but there was also the news a couple weeks ago, Dale Jr.'s leaving, and we've seen Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Greg Biffle, some other guys like that retire or no longer racing in recent years. What's the pressure like on the young guys? I mean, are you cognizant of the fact that, you know, some of you guys are going to be asked to replace these guys as the big names in the sport, and how do you handle knowing that that's kind of expected of this next generation of guys that are, you know, 25 and under?
Yeah, it's a big deal. I grew up in the last 6 years, and I moved to the United States watching Carl Edwards, watching all these guys that you just mentioned, Dale Jr., Tony Stewart, Greg Biffle, and now that they are stepping away for different reasons, it's kind of sometimes hard to figure out, but you know, eventually that is going to happen for every single driver out there. So it's just a process. Obviously, no one wants this to happen, but it will happen one day. You know, it's just a process. Honestly, I don't really think about it. I just try to do I just try to do the best I can, the things I can control, and I can control having a good performance in the racetrack and doing my part the best I can, and the rest I will have to just go with it. You know, they've been racing for a long time. They have won a lot of races, championships, and and they've been, like you just mentioned, the face of the sport for a long time. So the only thing I can say is that it's a really honor to race with these guys for some races or hopefully some years, and to learn from these guys, because these guys, they've been racing for a long time, so they have a lot of experience on the sport. So you know, it's just a process, and for myself, I just try to focus on what I can control.
We'll go to Jerry, then to Chris.
Jerry Jordan, kickingthetires.net and PRN. Daniel, in most racers' lives, their dads are the ones that are out there, you know, pushing them along and helping them. But moms are in the background, biting their fingernails and worrying. Talk about your mom, your experience, and any plans that you have for Mother's Day this weekend.
Well, actually, Mother's Day in Mexico was a couple days ago. So yeah, my mom. Obviously, I didn't have the opportunity to be down there in Mexico, but my two of my sisters, I told them to take my mom to have dinner and to enjoy her day, and they did. So I was very happy for that. And for this weekend, the same thing. Fortunately, I'm going to be in my house, but unfortunately, not with my mom. But you know, it's how it works sometimes. Hopefully, I can change that sometime soon. But overall, you know, we talk every day and everything. So she's super excited, and now watching the races every single weekend, with in front of the TV, in front of the iPad, listening to myself. She can understand half of what I'm saying, but she's listening, and it's kind of fun how much support she has given me to be where I'm at right now.
Chris Knight, CatchFence.com. Daniel, you have a couple opportunities next week to try to get into the All-Star race. What would it mean for you if you were able to accomplish that and get in your first try?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Charlotte has been a pretty good place for myself in the past, in the Xfinity stuff. So hopefully we can be just as good now in the Cup stuff, and put ourselves in a good position to make it to the big show. But to be very honest with you, I haven't even think about it. Right now I'm in Kansas. I'm thinking about Kansas. And on Sunday, Mother's Day, I'm going to start thinking about how I'm going to make my way in.
Danny, thanks for taking the time to join us. Buena suerte, mi amigo.
Gracias. Thank you, guys.